My name is Ryan Haecker. I am a fourth-year PhD candidate in the Faculty of Divinity at Peterhouse University of Cambridge. My research focuses on the reception and transformation of ancient logic in the writings of the Church Father Origen of Alexandria, as it extends to contemporary questions in logic, mechanics, and computers. Today I'll be speaking with you about theological interpretations of artificial intelligence. What is a machine? Can a machine think? And can a machine think like a human mind? Although often discussed from a purely secular standpoint, these questions of creation, of intelligence, and of our search for meaning and purpose are recognizably religious in character. We are already inundated in a network of devices linked by intelligent computer systems, Google search algorithms, Amazon customer recommendations, and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram news feeds, as well as Alexa and Cortana digital assistants. Computers can today fly planes, argue in debates, and compose symphonies in the style of Bach. All of these are, however, examples of what we can call weak artificial intelligence. What tends to attract the most sensational interest are headlines of what we can call strong artificial intelligence, in which a computer can equal or surpass the innate capacities of a human mind. The general advance of technology, the accelerating complexity of computational power, and the increasingly gargantuan investment of government, industry, and researchers all lends support to beliefs that computers will soon be made to surpass the innate cognitive powers of human intelligence and ultimately to render humanity replaceable. The recently deceased Cambridge physicist Stephen Hawking told the BBC in 2014, quote, "Once humans develop artificial intelligence, it would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. Humans who are limited by slow biological evolution couldn't compete and would soon be superseded," end quote. Were this possible, we may, as the transhumanists and the singularitarians often predict, witness in our own lifetimes the evolutionary obsolescence of humanity as a species, the enslavement of humans to machines, and, as Randall Reed has predicted, the substitution of our deities and religious beliefs by super-intelligent machines of our own making, the very artificial demons of our own digital age. We may, in expectation of such artificial intelligent machines, wonder whether our own minds had, as Daniel Dennett had argued, been mechanical computers all along. The mechanical minds of the future may thus be believed to surpass human minds, just as humans had once surpassed the apes. And with this prediction of human obsolescence, our future imagining of artificial intelligence may be thought to presage the apocalyptic extinction of humanity on Earth. Yet against such predictions, we may object with Hubert Dreyfus and John Searle that the elementary operations of mechanical computers can never capture the semblance of our most intimate acquaintance with the spark of human consciousness. And we may further argue with John Randolph Lucas and Marta Penrose that Kurt Gödel's two incompleteness theorems may offer an argument from pure reason that no future evidence could ever disprove that, as he says, quote, "the human mind infinitely surpasses the power of any finite machine," end quote. These ideas of machines, computers, and artificial intelligence have most often been imagined to have been plucked out of the thin air of pure reason and cobbled together from the given furniture of the surrounding world. Most academic conversations surrounding artificial intelligence have thus tended to be conducted within a conspicuously secular framework that assumes no religious belief and even tacitly marginalizes the religious voices of Christian theology. The creation of artificial machines has, since the ancient sophists, been assumed in this way to constitute a sheer addition to the world that is already given to us. And the exponential proliferation of new technologies has since come to be increasingly considered by many theologians and technologists alike as perhaps nothing more than something that is added on to the world after it was made. And once theology has effectively ceased all effort to explain technology, it can come to be considered with the German philosopher Martin Heidegger as nothing more than an obsolete form of human technology, which is doomed to be superseded in its own inexplicability by the feverish zealots of New Age technomagic, transhumanism, and the technological singularity. Christian theologians have since increasingly come to endorse such an ever-growing chasm between the supernatural realm of grace and the natural realm of works, in which new technologies have first been subordinated to and finally separated from any thought of divine creation. Such a marginalization of theology has, I want to suggest, resulted from a certain theological mistake. For it has been a mistake to treat technology as though it were something that could be added to nature either by God or by human invention after the creation and givenness of the cosmos as it exists today. Theologians can, however, ask the simplest and richest questions about the origin, possibility, and purpose of computers. It can seek to answer in different yet complementary voices questions about how computers may inextricably be tied to the myths, narratives, and divinely legislated reason that ever governs the hidden order of our cosmos. The ideas of logic, mechanics, and computation have been essentially constituted from the very beginning within such a matrix of theological beliefs and religious practices. God is, for Christians, as also for Muslims and Jews, the most original artificer who, before man-made machines, had artificially created all other intelligent minds. Yet it is uniquely for Christians that God is also believed to have created a world in which God could create himself in human flesh. And that it is, I suggest, with this distinctly Christian doctrine of the incarnation of God in Jesus Christ, that Christians can uniquely be not less, but even more optimistic than their secular counterparts in believing and hoping that we may create machines in the image of divinity. As early as the Gospel of John, we find with the announcement of the Word made flesh a much more radical concept of artifice, in which God creates himself in and through the creation of the cosmos, in an eternal divine self-creation that can be continuously repeated in any further act of human creation. The creation of machines and computers is, from this religious perspective, not simply to be thought of as something that may be added by man to the world, but on the contrary, continuous with this eternal activity of divine creation. Clement and Origen of Alexandria had identified Christ the Logos with the divine artificer, that is, with the demiurge, who crafted the cosmos in nature and continuously in human artifice. And the doctrine of God made man in the incarnation further implies, as the medieval theologians John Scotus Eriugena and Nicholas of Cusa acknowledged, that God created the cosmos to be made incarnate as a man within a world in an act of divine self-making. This original creativity thereafter appears continuous in every other act of human and divine creation. Christian theologians can, accordingly, conceive of artificial intelligence as an eternal continuation of such a divine self-creation, in which God, in creating all things, also creates all spiritual, natural, and even artificial intelligence in the image of the divine intellect. The image of God in man can, as Noreen Hertzfeld has argued, thus be extended through this eternal act of divine self-creation, from the creation of human to artificial intelligence. Every subsequent act of creation of technologies, of machines, and of computers that appear to emulate human intelligence can thus be conceived as but a repetition and a reflection in time of human creativity of this one single eternal act of divine creation. The creation of machines, computers, and even of artificial intelligence is thus for Christian theologians not simply to be thought of as something that may be added as a sheer supplement and addition to the world, but moreover something that is continuous with this eternal activity of divine creation. Artificial intelligence can thus be interpreted as a derivative product of creation in continuity with divine creation, in which God, in creating the creativity of all things, is no less at work to create all spiritual, natural, and even artificial intelligences in the divine image. Since the repetition of such creativity does not last opposed, but rather reflects this divine creative act in each ensuing human invention, we can conclude that for Christian theology, we should be even more optimistic for the future hope of new technologies. The marginalization of theology has, I suggest, resulted from a theological mistake. And yet, it may once more, most of all, be the responsibility of theologians to demonstrate the central task of theology in these conversations about new technologies. Since to ask the question of artificial intelligence is at once to ask a recognizably religious question about the beginning and end of ourselves and the world, the stories of the myths, revelations, and history, which we tell ourselves about the origin, nature, and purpose of minds and machines will ever shape the destiny of human and artificial intelligence.